to this practice that is designed to release and relax your pelvic floor. So as you move through this practice, I want you to keep in mind two things primarily. One, I want you to think of the pelvic floor with this building analogy. So in a relaxed, kind of resting pelvic floor, that would be sitting at the basement of our building. But our building is 5 stories. And when we engage the pelvic floor, we lift the pelvic floor up to the 5th floor. That won't be as important for this practice today, but the second part is important. When you relax the pelvic floor, you want to come back down to the basement, and then you want to go just a little bit beyond that. So there is this sense of releasing and relaxing the pelvic floor to the point where it is stretching. That I like to visualize as coming out the basement window, right? So as you inhale, this is happening. The inhale naturally will stretch and expand the pelvic floor, and you should feel as if that pelvic floor is releasing just a little bit more than it is in a normal resting state. Now, the second thing, be aware that this is not pushing the pelvic floor down and out. That's not what I'm looking for. What I am looking for is a relaxation and a stretching of the structures of the pelvic floor. So when you do this, it can be very helpful to use the visual of a rose that is closed at rest, right? Normal resting state, it's closed. And then as you inhale and relax that pelvic floor, you imagine that rose opening. And I like to picture that rose right at my perineum. So right at the spot between my vagina and my anus, that area of skin, there's a ton of pelvic floor muscles that come together there. And so really allowing that perineum area to kind of blossom like a rosebud opening can be a really nice way to get that natural relaxation, that dropping out of the basement window. And just one quick note, we aren't going to be actively engaging the pelvic floor in this practice. This really is designed for releasing and relaxing the pelvic floor. So let's begin. We're gonna come laying down on our bellies. So laying down, make a pillow out of your hands. Allow your head to rest on the pillow. Feet are hip width apart. Good. As you come into this position, just take a moment to start attending to your breath. And notice that as you lay here, your belly is kind of squashed by the floor. And this is intentional. This is going to prevent the breath from going into the belly and help us direct it downward into the pelvic floor. So now beginning to lengthen the inhale, and as we inhale, imagine that rose opening at the perineum, the sit bones will spread. So inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it at the top. Exhale, relax completely. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale for 2, 3, 4. Hold at the top. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Make your way onto your hands and knees. Shoulders on top of wrists, hips on top of knees, curl your toes under. Tilt the tailbone up towards the sky just a little bit to help you feel your sit bones spread, but don't collapse, right? I'm not dropping my belly down. I'm still nice and strong in my low belly. And the same thing here. Inhale deeply into the pelvic floor for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Feeling the sit bones spread, the perineum open. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Last one. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold at the top. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Now inhale, rocking back, shifting the hips back as you push into the hands. Chin stays tucked, breathing in. Exhale, coming forward. So just single breaths here. Inhale, pressing back. Breath to the pelvic floor. Exhale, coming forward. Inhale, press back. Exhale, forward. 2 more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. From here, walk your hands forward, puppy dog pose, dropping the elbows down towards the mat. Your head can come down. Ultimately, you can rest your whole upper arm toward the floor. Now, if you feel like you're collapsing in your ribs, lift up higher. It is not worth breaking at the ribs to get this pose, but it is a nice stretch for that area of the perineum, the pelvic floor. Take a few deep inhales into that area. And if this is too intense on the upper body, you can always come down onto your forearms and just stack yourself, shoulders over elbows. And gently coming back up, make your way up to standing. In standing, reach your arms high to the sky, half moon pose. You stay facing this way, I'll face this way so that you can see. Grab hold of the left wrist with the right hand. Ribs stay tucked down. Inhale, create length. As you exhale, pull with that right hand on the left wrist, stretching the entire left side of the body over to the right. Sending those deep inhales into the pelvic floor and also into the side body. One more deep breath. Exhale, release and come up. Switching sides, grab hold of the right wrist with your left hand. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend to the left. Notice we're not twisting in the upper body. Everything is staying square. Ribs stay stacked as much as possible over the hips. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath in. Exhale, coming up to center. Bring your hands together at your heart. Step your right leg back, crescent lunge pose. So back heel is lifted, foot is facing forward. Inhale, reach your arms to the sky. Exhale, settle in. Now inhale, send that breath down into the pelvic floor. Visualize that rose opening. As you exhale, just relax and release. Again, breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, relax. Exhale, stepping forward, hands come together at your heart. Inhale. Exhale, left foot steps back, crescent lunge, second side. Reach the arms up to the sky. Take a moment just to notice how your pelvis alignment is. If you're really untucked, bend that back knee slightly to allow your pelvis to come more to neutral. And then breathe into the pelvic floor. Deep inhale relaxes you out the basement window. Exhale, you stay. 2 more, breathe in. Breathe out. 1 more, inhale. Exhale, stepping forward, hands come together at your heart. Second time, inhale. Exhale, right foot steps back, crescent lunge, reach the arms to the sky. Inhale, as you exhale, hands come back down to the heart. Take a deep breath in, let the pelvic floor relax. As you exhale, you're going to rotate your torso towards your bent leg. So just gently turning the body towards that bent leg. It's a subtle move, and I want you to imagine this back hip, this left hip pulling back as you rotate. Inhale, come back to center, hands at your heart. Exhale, rotate and twist. Inhale, back to center, pelvic floor relaxes. Exhale, twisting, left hip draws back in space. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, step forward. Breathe in. Exhale, left foot steps back, crescent lunge. Inhale, arms reach up to the sky. Exhale, hands come down to the heart. Deep breath in, pelvic floor relaxes. Exhale, rotate, and as you do, this right hip draws back just a little bit. Inhale, come back to center. Pelvic floor relaxes. Exhale, rotate and twist. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, rotate, hip comes back. Last one. Inhale, let that pelvic floor relax. Exhale, step forward. Mountain pose, hands by your sides. Take a big step out, turning towards the side of your mat, feet parallel, hands come to the hips. Take a breath in, lift the heart up. As you exhale, think about really breaking here at the hips. So I'm hinging at the hips as I go over, and I can bend my knees at any point that I need to. Bring your hands down towards the floor. If this is just too much stretch for you, then take a block underneath your hands. You can take it either direction to give you more space. Now here, press the sit bones back behind you without locking out your knees. Feel the length in the upper body. Two more breaths here. Inhale, pelvic floor relaxes. Exhale. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Walk your hands back underneath your body. Hands come to the hips. Inhale, lift the torso upwards. Now turn your feet out to face toward the edges of the mat. They don't have to go all the way. It's fine if they are turned more inward. You just want your knees tracking over those big toes. Wide-legged squat. So feel free to bring your legs closer and be up higher if this feels like too much. Hands together at the heart for a moment. Breathe in. Breathe out. Interlace the hands, reach the arms up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale. On the inhale, pelvic floor relaxes fully. Deep breath in. As you exhale, this time stand up, straightening the legs. Inhale, come back down. Exhale, pressing up. Inhale down. Exhale up. One more, breathe in. Exhale up. Bring your feet back to parallel, hands come to the hips. From here, right foot turns out, left foot stays turned in, warrior two position. Bending that right knee, extending the arms out to the side, and gazing over your right middle finger. Deep breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe into that pelvic floor. Exhale, relax completely. One more deep inhale. Exhale, straighten the front leg, switching sides. Left foot turns out, right toes turn in slightly, bending that left knee, arms extend out. 4 deep breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, pelvic floor relaxes. Exhale, no action. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, deep breath in. Full breath out, come back up to standing. Feet come to parallel, and then step forward to the front of your mat. Feet hip width apart, mountain pose. Coming into tree pose, again, I will turn, you stay at the front. Right foot comes to the inside of the left leg. It can be above the knee or below the knee. Hands come together at your heart. In this position, we are isolating one side of the pelvic floor more than the other. So notice if you feel the breath penetrating that area differently on one side than the other. If you're steady, reach your arms up to the sky. 2 more deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Last breath in, look up toward the sky. Exhale, hands come together at your heart. Switching sides. Stand on the right foot. Take the left foot to the inside of the right leg, above or below the knee, not on the knee. Really think about pushing down into the floor with that standing leg. Hands together at your heart. Finding steadiness in the movement. Two more breaths. On that last inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Look up. And hands come down, releasing the pose. From here, make your way down onto the floor. Coming to lay on your back. On your back, feet flat on the floor. Just take a moment to check in. Send your mind's eye to the pelvis, the pelvic floor area, and see how it's feeling there. And if you find any areas of tension, really allow the breath to move into those areas on this last exercise. So moving into happy baby, 2 variations of this. You can bring the legs wide and just grab behind the shins, hugging those knees towards the outside of the torso. Or if you have the flexibility, you can reach for the outsides of the feet and pull the knees down towards the armpits. It doesn't matter what version you're in, both poses will have a really great impact. So wherever you are, let your belly relax completely. 5 deep breaths into the pelvic floor. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale, that rose is opening. Exhale. 3 more just like that. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. Last one, inhale. Exhale, let it go. Feet come back down to the floor. Just drop your knees left and right. From here, final relaxation. Lay flat on your back. Feet relaxing. Close your eyes. Take a deep inhale through the nose. As you exhale, open your mouth and let it go. Again, breathe in through the nose. Exhale completely. And then allow yourself to rest completely and fully here, totally supported by the floor. And give yourself one last scan. So checking how the belly feels and the front of the pelvis. Slide the attention around to the back of the pelvis and then the pelvic floor. Any area of tension you find, invite it to release and let go. Your work is done, so now just allow the benefits of the practice to sink in. Feel free to remain here for longer if you would like a longer rest. Otherwise, we get to wiggle your finger and toes. Roll to your right. And then come up to a seat. Hands together at your heart. Raise your thumbs to your third eye. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. I hope it serves you well. Namaste.